most people, when they become camera aware, they do something unnatural. You don't get a really good looking, you don't get a good shot of most people when you just walk up to them with a camera and start pointing it at them.
I think that's what we call the stalker shot. It's like you're always like you're here, and then you kind of like peek out from behind like a bush or a pole, because that's how you kind of hide from people, right?
Fly on the wall.
Yeah.
I'm Nathan Han, producer and filmmaker in training.
And I'm Brandon Lee, content creator and filmmaker. In my line of work, I meet some incredible people that work behind the scenes.
These artists and creatives that rarely allow themselves to be caught in the limelight, and we've coerced, tricked, and blackmailed them into coming on camera.
We shoot our way through the city and share with you, our viewers, what makes us tick. Our guest today is Nick Ko, a filmmaker based in Hong Kong. He's worked with clients such as Bon Appetit, SCMP, and Vans.
Not only that, he is a founding member of Eastwind Good Fortune, a collective of talented minds that come together to elevate each other's creativity and make some really cool shit.
One thing is, the best shots tend to be in the middle of the road. People are always telling me, be careful, you know. And I am being careful.
Do you have anyone that usually like tackles you to safety?
My girlfriend.
So when you do this kind of stuff that Brandon's doing?
Yeah.
What are you looking for?
Today specifically, I'm trying to capture, I guess, everyday life of people in Sheung Wan. So I got an iPhone 15 Pro Max. I think it's the first iPhone that has ×5. I fell in love with it immediately because like you get so close, so sharp. I get really smooth footage of like micro details of everyday life. So that's what I'm trying to do today.
I'm interested to see how the footage turns out. We'll see how the comparison is. I'll do it with my phone as well. I'll get some footage. I won't tell you what my inspirations are.
An area like this is where I usually find a lot of inspiration to shoot. I don't know, if you tend to seek out busy places like this, but when I look around here, I just see a million different things.
I do,
So what do you first look for, when you're trying to find a subject?
Okay, today specifically, I'm trying to shoot interesting characters. The moment I put on the 5X lens, I realized that I noticed a lot of details that I wouldn't have noticed. Since 5X is so close, in the edit, I do a lot of masking. So this will be a good transition mask point for me.
Right.
So I would just pan, mask, to something that is surprising visually. What about you? What are you looking for?
Because I don't have an actor, so I'm mostly filming shots where there's a pocket of light and I can frame up a subject in that pocket of light. So I'm rolling. So like right here, there's a pocket of light as the people cross that intersection. How much do you look at the lighting of the environment versus just the subject?
Since I'm using an iPhone today, not much. Because everything is on auto. Because the final output I want is the editing and the content I'm shooting. So I'm not really paying attention to the lighting. I'm just letting the iPhone do its own work. But if I were to shoot with because I thought I'll bring my FX3 today, that would be a whole different story. I don't think I would be able to do really intrusive shots with a camera.
Okay, I don't have a gimbal, but that works.
So this shot with the old man sitting there, the shot looks crazy. Inside looks crazy messy. And I talked to him. He repairs the bucket of the air conditioning. You see these? The bottom layers?
Oh, the shelf thing.
Yeah, the shelf thing.
Huh. Oh, that's
specifically just that.
You just specifically fix the shelves.
That is his business.
What is your biggest attraction in visuals when you do shoot in Hong Kong? When you're like, oh, I'm going to shoot something in Hong Kong, What's the part that excites you most?
I grew up in Hong Kong, and after I left for Canada, it's only when I came back I know how to appreciate Hong Kong stuff. So the whole like Howlin' grunginess, that's I find it most attractive in Hong Kong.
Right.
We actually did a music video about like Hong Kong triads. Well, the rapper raps about like triads and stuff, and then we shot everything in Sam Shui Po, which is like the most like raw area.
Like the ones where you got like all the stalls and there's these side alleys that you can barely fit through, and just all this activity going on.
Yeah.
Oh, we'll have to check it out next episode.
Is there a favorite area in Hong Kong that you like to shoot in?
All the old areas. Sheung Wan, Sang Pun,
Yeah.
Sam Shui Po.
Hey, just look at this. This is already super cinematic.
Right here is quite nice.
Yeah.
Have you
cool.
been here before?
Yeah, I used to live in this building.
Oh shit! I used to live like down the road.
French toast all day.
I'll go for it.
A lot of these places don't have French toast in the morning, which is, as an American, it blows my mind. That it's like an afternoon tea time thing in Hong Kong.
Yeah.
So you want the egg sandwich?
Egg sandwich,
With-
tomato egg sandwich,
Okay.
iced milk tea, iced lemon tea.
Okay. Nice.
Thank you. You know Hong Kong banned all plastics, so you have to be eating congee with a paper spoon.
Oh, I hate that spoon.
And yet,
Yep.
So I want to get into knowing you a little bit more, Nick.
Yeah.
You're a Hong Kong kid?
Yeah, I would say I grew up in Hong Kong. Yeah. So from 5 to 18, I studied in international school and then half international school and then local school. So I was everywhere.
All the way up until end of high school.
Yeah.
And then I believe you went to Canada.
Yeah, I went back to Toronto, did 2 years of high school, and then U of T. Yeah.
What did you study?
I studied visual art and economics. And it's funny because after I graduated, I finished my degree, visual art. I came back to Hong Kong. I didn't even think of getting into the industry. I actually did interior design because the company kind of scammed me into it. Because they're like, hey, fresh grad, you got your degree in art. Why don't you work for us? You get to design furnitures. And I got the job. But 90% of the job is sales. So I was doing a lot of, hey, Mrs. Chan, this leather sofa goes really well with your handbag. I was doing a lot of that. So I did a whole year of interior design, and I was like, fuck that. I hated my life, but I made a little bit of money, and I went traveling for a bit, came back, spent all my money, and then I actually delivered pizza for a little bit around this area.
Here?
Yeah.
Oh.
It was really fun. I was broke as fuck, but it was really fun. Because like delivering pizza to drunk people in Soho, everybody tips you a lot. Yeah. Pizza! So I'm waiting for, just now I saw a ferry pass by. It's almost like a screen on a panel looking like this. I can't see you in the 5X. So these are the kind of things that I find really interesting because iPhone, the aperture is just so small. Everything is kind of in focus.
Yeah.
And not in focus at the same time.
Yeah.
So it's almost like you're trying to capture a painting in real life. And with the 5X, I can peep into areas like these. I like that we see people walking on a bridge here and people going on a bus here, just minding their own business. But you see kind of a contrast. I don't know how to describe this, but it's like an everyday life. When you walk on a bridge, you don't notice this. When you get on a bus, you don't notice this. But when you stand here with a 5X, you see this.
It's like a real life split screen.
Yeah. Yeah.
What are you looking for, Brandon?
I've been waiting for one specific shot. We have a shaft of light coming through these two buildings, and the trams pass through that shaft of light.
Right.
So I framed up a shot to show the Western Market on the right-hand side of the frame and the shaft of light on the left side of the frame. But I need that tram to come around the corner at the right time for the shot to work.
Have you had a tram come by?
I got one,
okay,
but I wanted to get another one a little further back.
Right, okay.
Usually I shoot multiple versions of the same thing.
So Brandon's waiting for a tram, I'm waiting for a ferry. Yeah. They sound like they're best friends. They sound like they've been doing this together for many years.
This is what I'm talking about, like the stuff I love in Hong Kong. They have a 15-minute conversation about how they're going to lift this thing. And the solution is we carry it with our hands and walk down the stairs. And it works.
I love it. Well, you were mentioning, you finished high school, went to U of T, and then you came back delivering pizzas, but then you also mentioned that you worked in news. And then that's how you got into film.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about how that process worked. And
while I was delivering pizza, my friend from Canada, he came to Hong Kong, and then we connect, and then he was like, hey, do you want to shoot videos? He got a job in HK01, which is a local news agency. It was a great environment for it because as kids, they know that you're gonna make mistakes, you get fucked up, and you learn a lot from that. So I did a year of that, and then we moved to another news agency, South China Morning Post. 5 years of full-time job there, and then that's basically how I learned how to shoot. So I didn't come from film school. I didn't learn how to put up a C-stand, stuff like that. I straightly start from run and gun content. Yeah.
you just camera in your hand, go figure it out?
Yeah.
Where do you think is your biggest inspiration, where you pull a lot of your ideas from?
Naturally, because I come from a very run and gun background, naturally I will think of shots that I can do handheld first. Because I have some friends that comes from a film school, so naturally they will think of composition, where to put the tripod, where to put the lighting. But for me, those things comes later.
You just have to go out there and shoot enough where it you just have things speak to you.
Yeah.
Because me running around now, I don't have experience with the camera, so when I'm pointing at something, my brain is trying to figure out composition. I don't know what's a good shot. I don't know what to do. But then I look over the shoulder of you or Brandon, and I'm like, oh, that's nice. But is that something that just naturally comes from having shot so much?
Yeah, I think so. Just experience.
Right. So for anybody out there, you just got to go out there and shoot.
At SCMP, you did the editorial docs, right? Not just the daily news.
No, I didn't do daily news. So they had a channel called GoThread. It's like a platform. Yeah. So we did a lot of lifestyle stories. We could be shooting a noodle shop that has been there for 60 years and now is closing. So we'll be interviewing the owners, stuff like that. During that time is when I realized my love for documentary, because I can travel. I get paid to shoot, it's fun. I get to connect with people. I get to eat a lot because I was shooting a lot of food documentaries too.
And it's kind of great because you get to show an unsung hero, somebody that normally doesn't get the limelight.
Yes.
And let them sort of tell their story in their own words, right?
Yes, especially when they get emotional, you just feel like, oh man. And you just know that they're probably gonna show it to all their families and relatives. So one time I was shooting this fishball shop in Kowloon. He was making fishball since in the 50s. When he got to the point where he was talking about his wife, both of them were tearing up, and they were like, this is why we're doing this. It's like a really emotional moment for us. So I really like that moment.
So you're always trying to draw the emotion out of the person.
Yeah.
Got it.
Make them cry.
That's also very tricky because sometimes people don't like touchy questions. So
nobody wants touchy questions.
Yeah, but then
we fall into them.
Yeah.
And we can't avoid it. It's irresistible, but we also don't want it.
Yeah.
I don't want people to ask me personal stuff,
So it's always a test for me. How do you get this person to be emotional but real in a respectful way? So I'm still learning how to do that, but
So how does that make you feel?
Exploiting
What's the most
their
painful
emotions.
part of this process for you? Is there anything about your childhood that this person?
Were you beaten? Do you also get that feeling, and do you chase that feeling where it's this is nice, I'm doing it for showing these people, telling their story?
Yeah, I like to turn these unsung heroes into sung heroes, I guess.
Yeah.
Right? It's fun to find somebody who I think is cool, and I always try to film people who I genuinely find somehow inspiring and highlight what I think is cool about them, as opposed to just, I don't know, what I've been assigned to do. So in my personal projects, I won't just film a subject because it's popular or because the person is important to like the culture of a region or whatever. I find people who genuinely are exciting to me, and I try to film them in a way that shows why I find them exciting. Have you ever heard this? There's a minor debate in the photography community about how you should hold your lens when you're not shooting. And basically, some photographers think it's offensive if you carry your lens like this when you're not shooting, lens out, because then people might think that they're being filmed at any time. The etiquette is that you should keep the lens down when you're not shooting. So
So the rule is kind of like a gun. You always have to just point
like this. This is how I try to hold my.
Or
gimbal.
sometimes I just carry it on my shoulder, just point at the sky.
Oh yeah.
That's a little bit more dangerous. But
that's fine too. You know, might offend some birds. That's about it.
Look at this wall.
Yeah. So much texture.
I think there used to be another building here. That's why there's I'm just guessing.
See, that's another thing I love about Hong Kong is that it's an evolving city. So much more interesting to me than cities that are planned and everything is perfect. Everything's built all at the same time.
China right now is kind of like that because everything is so new.
Well, and it's functional. It's certainly from a lifestyle standpoint, it's nice to have a clean, perfectly organized city. But from an aesthetic standpoint, I love a little bit of chaos. Yeah, I love the cats in this area. They're kind of grimy. Like the cats are the street cats. They've got some grit, some character, some moxie.
Look at this guy. So cool. The pattern looks so nice. I've never seen this kind of pattern. Do you have pets?
Nope. I travel too much.
Same problem.
I have a cactus and I'm afraid it will be dead when I get back. So that tells you what my life would be like if I had pets.
My submission for the cat shot. The competition of the cat shot. This is mine.
Are you making lap Sheung Wan?
Yeah, I'm gonna make some lap Sheung Wan. I think I might make it this weekend. I don't know if my wife will like it, but it's so easy. You just chuck in rice?
Oh, I thought
chuck it on top. Oh, for you? No. No,
when we get back to the hive.
Oh, okay, I ain't got a rice cooker over there. All right, guys, as you know, I've got my little sausages that I had earlier. But watching you guys shoot around the city, I do have a question. When you go to like a new city or a new environment, what is the idea or the concept or thing that you focus on most to capture when shooting anywhere new?
Well, I would focus on the people and the action. I always try to look for interesting characters to shoot.
Right.
I know it's not exact. I don't have them on set, but I mean, it's fun to like just intrude a little bit, just to like get in there, really get in there, and when you see what they're doing and how they interact with each other, you kind of get a sense of that neighborhood. So that's interesting for me.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's the people when you get there.
Yeah.
Okay. What about you, Brandon?
Yeah, I think it's pretty similar. Some aspect of the traditional culture that is still existing now. So something real, that's part of the traditions of the place.
Okay, so what I want to do now is I want to head back to the hive. Cool. I want to take a sit down. I want to look at some of your work and criticize, praise, rip you a new one.
Let's do it.
All right? Okay, cool. Let's go. All right, guys, we're back at the Hive at their Poho location. If you didn't know, the Hive is a co-working space that has locations across Hong Kong as well as Asia. If you're around in the neighborhood, come take a look. This is the Poho branch near Sheung Wan. Right now we're here and we're gonna take a look at Nick's work.
The video I want to show you guys is the way that I shot today with a 5X on my iPhone. I actually edited a video before and then I kind of like it a lot. So that's why I did it again today, but in a different neighborhood. This is Kwai Heng in Hong Kong, deep in the Kowloon side.
Whoa. Oh, it's a loop.
Yeah, it's a loop, yeah.
Oh, shit.
Minibus here again.
Well, it looks like little daily local moments. And what I notice is that you're not just getting B-roll of the city, you're focusing on little interactions. Like each shot, most of the shots here have some sort of setup and a payoff or an interaction. So yeah, it's quite well done. Thank you.
I think, well, so you said this 5X, right? So it really tightens up what you're able to see. And from what I feel is almost as if like I'm spending like a day out in Kwai Fong, but like everything kind of blends together. You have all these like transitions and you can never remember, oh, I spent the day out in Kwai Fong. You don't think like, okay, I did this and I went there. And it's almost like pockets of memories. And you're almost like stitching it together in this seamless kind of way. And
well, to be honest, when I was shooting this, I wasn't thinking that much. I was just like testing out the 5X. And then when I edit, I found the fun in it. You see different characters do their outfits, the things they're doing, the lady selling sweet potatoes. That really encapsulate what Kwai Heng is. Like the old man is smoking a cigarette, looking at me angrily.
So there's like, I don't know, a subtle thing that I think is really important is when you choose a shot, to choose that particular moment for a reason. What I see you doing here is, so there's the sweet potato moment and that lady's waving away the steam. And then we pan back to the lady who's selling it. So that's what I appreciate here is that you're showing like a mini story in these shots instead of just a moment randomly selected, where someone's just standing there or someone's just walking. And the transition back to the minibus is pretty slick going through the window.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Also, the sound design is important too. Like, I realized adding them is really important. Like, just the burning of the cigarette.
Sure.
The plastic bag.
I didn't notice that.
Yeah.
But I felt it. Oh, okay.
You notice it when it's gone though. I think with those kinds of incidental noises, the purpose of them is to draw your attention to something that's happening in the shot. You may not even hear the sound consciously, but you will notice, for instance, a cigarette, whereas you may have not known somebody was smoking without the sound effect.
Yeah, because I noticed the walk light sound.
Yeah.
Because that's like the point, it's the beginning is where you hear it. But then all the other ones, only when you mentioned it, I was like, wait, I remember hearing that.
Yeah, even the minibus, I'm really close filming the driver. But sound-wise, it's not possible for me to get the sound inside a minibus. Right. So I had to put up sounds of radio playing, engine sounds, little moments like things.
It's nice.
Yeah.
So I'm noticing that, a lot of your content here is vertical. You're shooting vertical today. Are you more comfortable shooting vertical or are you more comfortable shooting horizontal?
I actually don't have a preference, but I would say very unpopular opinion. I kind of like shooting vertical too. I know a lot of filmmakers when this whole like social media first started, everybody was like, why vertical destroys everything we've learned. But actually framing a vertical is kind of fun too, because you're holding, essentially it's very in your face because everybody has a big phone nowadays, and I find fun in framing it.
Yeah, I feel like in Hong Kong, in particular, in a way, this is kind of a vertical city. The buildings are tall, You know, there's a lot of pedestrians. People are vertical shaped. You know, we're taller than we are wide, unless you're in America. So there are a lot of opportunities for good vertical compositions here, which it seems like you were going for in that reel that you just showed us, and also in the stuff that I saw you shoot today. You're kind of framing up people, head and shoulders, like you're doing portraits basically of people, which is a vertical medium.
Yeah. What about you? Do you have a preference?
I prefer horizontal. Yeah. I like shooting vertically for casual like stories for Instagram, but for anything creative, it's hard for me to stay in vertical mode mentally. Yeah. I just want to go back and shoot 16:9. 235 even. You know.
Well, I remember we talked a little bit about setting ourselves apart visually or narratively or as a filmmaker. Do you think you like vertical because it like sets you apart in terms in a way of thinking? Because not many people do make.
No, I think I'm trying to make vertical work because the market is going that way as well. Like for example, this one. I didn't direct this, but I was the cam. It's for AP. The whole campaign is shot in vertical. They didn't even request 16:9, and it's AP, and it's such a big campaign.
So you think the future is vertical?
I think now is vertical.
Now, is it the future or is it a current?
That doesn't mean horizontal doesn't exist. I think horizontal is still the king here.
Right.
But it's just there's a lot more vertical stuff going on.
I'm gonna ask the question that Brendan just previously said he hates being asked. I'm gonna ask you: what is the end goal? What is the dream? What is the aspiration? What is the final, destination? Not movie wise.
Okay, honestly, the end goal I would say to be able to keep freelancing, travel to shoot, and make a good living enough for me to live comfortably.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, it's been amazing having you on the show. It's great seeing all your work. Thank you for joining us. That's all the time we have today. I'd first like to thank The Hive for giving us a location and sponsoring this video, as well as Nick for being our guest and coming on.
Thank you for having me.
And thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this was our first episode. We're planning on making more, so please stick around for the next one. We'll see you next time.